spent 32 weeks at the top of the New York Times and Amazon bestseller lists. It wasn't just the similarity in our names. Destiny dressed like me, in vintage skirts and thrift shop sweaters. Her wardrobe reflected her mind, the novel's hero said on page 32, only gently used, full of second-hand ideas and cast-off morality. Plus, anyone who read his bio knew Grayson Kettering was an adjunct faculty member at the University of Kansas. And anyone who did a little digging, the features writer at New York Magazine, say, or a book reviewer at the Washington Post, or the host of Entertainment Tonight, could discover he had a 2-year relationship with a graduate student there who bore a strong resemblance to brown-haired, cow-eyed Destiny. Casting had recently started on Destiny Gale, the movie. Fortified by a box of tissues and a cup of tea, I'd watched the E.T. interview from the couch in my aunt's living room. Was she the real-life inspiration for your character? The host had asked Gray. On television, Gray looked exactly like his author photo. Silver threading his thick hair, the top 2 buttons of his shirt undone. The camera and the interviewer had loved him. An ache stabbed my chest. I leaned forward to catch his reply. A case of art imitating life? His dark, deep-set eyes twinkled. I suppose the comparison is inevitable, if somewhat reductive. You might as well say, life imitates art. What about the relationship Destiny has with her professor? The host asked. My hand twitched, sloshing hot tea on my Winnie the Pooh pajamas. A professor at the college, Gray corrected. Technically, she's not enrolled in any of his classes. He has no real power over her. She exerts her power, her will, her desires over him. I listened, stunned. The host raised an expertly threaded eyebrow. Are you saying their relationship is appropriate? It's certainly unwise, Gray admitted ruefully. Of course he had to say that now. Before, he said I was his soulmate. He told me, well, not that he loved me, not in so many words, but he said he couldn't imagine his life without me. But let's not strip young Destiny of her agency, he told the interviewer. She pursues an older man, her mentor, as willfully and aggressively as he imagines he is pursuing her. He looked into the camera with disarming directness. You could argue that he is the one being exploited in the relationship. It's not until he's free of her stifling domesticity that he can truly express himself. You jerk! I yelled at my aunt's TV. Not that anyone heard me. Not the interviewer. Not my thesis advisor at KU. Certainly not Gray. Aside from that one horrible scene in his office, I'd never been able to tell him. Anyway, I blamed myself. Gray had never coerced me into anything. I loved him. Everything he'd done, I'd let him do. Everything he'd written, well, it must be partly true, right? He was Grayson Kettering, one of the modern masters of autobiographical fiction. Aunt Em paused on her way into the kitchen. Turn that off. Nobody cares about that garbage. My heart burned. I rubbed at the damp spot spreading on Pooh's face. Only 4 million viewers and the entire English department. Nobody that matters, Em amended.